This is the West, and this is the Panhandle. At one time, not only was it the goal of the pioneers, but also the center of most of the criminal activity in the West. As our forefathers crossed new frontiers, with them came outlaws and greedy men who saw an opportunity to gain wealth by using force. Hired killers were used to hold up banks in an attempt to disrupt the monetary stability of growing settlements. Life savings were wiped out in one fell swoop. Distrust of saving institutions prevented others from developing their land. With no deposits, there could be no loans. Some of those that were fortunate enough to have gotten established saw their ranches burned to the ground. Their horses stolen from the corrals and their cattle either rustled or stampeded so as to have less value on the market. Gunfights in the streets became common, and the meager attempts at law and order were strangled by overwhelming odds. Not even the traveler was safe. Highwaymen, Panhandle style, were disrupting transportation in order to discourage others from reaching their goals. Honest, decent citizens were being molested in every manner. There was only one word for this. It was terror. The once peaceful and prosperous town of Green Valley, located in the northern portion of the Panhandle, suddenly found itself the center of most of the lawlessness.
This used to be a decent place to live in, but it isn't anymore. Why, half of my cattle have been rustled right off my land. Last night, my house and feed barn were burned down, and a lot of my horses run off.
You can have as many of my men as you need to help you rebuild, Luke.
That's right neighborly of you, Kendall. I got a mess of cut lumber you can use, Luke.
Well, thanks for your offer, but why should I rebuild? Just to be burned down again? No, thanks. I'm selling out, just the way my neighbors on either side of me did.
Quitting under fire isn't going to help the situation any. Look, we've all had trouble. My stages have been held up and robbed and my driver's shot, but I'm not quitting.
That's the spirit, Henry.
I'm going to stick it out until the last outlaw's caught and hanged. Now, I've got faith in this country, and nobody's going to talk me out of it or scare me out of it.
Oh, hello, Marge.
Hello, Tom.
What are you doing here?
Well, I rode in from the ranch with my father. You know, you look awfully tired, Tom.
Yeah? Well, while I was out looking for the man that raided the Winslow Ranch last night, the stage was held up.
I heard about that. Did you pick up their trail?
Yeah, but I lost it at Painted Rock Canyon. I can't figure out where these outlaws come from or where they go. They'll hit one place one day and then another 10 miles away the next. I don't know whether it's one bunch or half a dozen.
No one seems to know what to do about the situation.
And to blame me for not getting results.
Well, they're holding a meeting in the stagecoach depot now. Father and several of the other ranchers are talking this thing over.
And probably talking me over, too. You know, your father doesn't seem to think much of me.
Aren't you going to the meeting?
What for? All they do is sit around and complain and criticize, and no one ever comes up with a helpful idea. You know, I've taken something on myself, Marge. I've asked the government for help on the grounds that the mails have been interfered with.
And what did they say?
They're sending me a United States Marshal.
Oh, Tom, that's wonderful. You know, I think you should go to that meeting and tell them about the marshal.
I guess you're right. Wait a few minutes while I look over these posters.
Certainly, Sheriff.
And instead of selling our ranches and moving away, what we really ought to talk about is how to get some law enforcement around here. Why aren't these outlaws being rounded up? So far, not one man has been arrested by our sheriff.
Well, that's not exactly true, Mr. Kendall. I've brought in several suspects at different times, but no one was ever able to identify them or bring charges against them.
Well, folks around here are scared they'll be burned out like me if they bring charges.
Well, that might be, but things are going to be worse unless I get some cooperation from you.
You're right, Tom. We've got to stick together, or be ruined separately.
Well, maybe we ought to form a vigilante committee.
Now, just a minute. Acting outside the law is not going to help. There's been too much of that already.
It's action from the law that's needed, young man.
Yeah, and you're going to get it. The United States Marshal is on his way here now at my request.
Well, good for you, Tom.
Oh, Sheriff, here's a letter for you.
Thanks, Ezra.
Wait here for me. I'm going in to see if I got any mail.
I'm going over to the bank, Margie. Then we'll start for home.
All right, Dad.
Oh, hello, Rance. How are you making out these days?
I'm getting along fine. Got a small spread, a few head of cattle. Enough to get by on.
Fine. You know you were a very good foreman. I hope you make as good a rancher.
Any mail for me?
Yep, here's a letter.
This letter's from the Transportation Bureau in Kansas City. Says a rider is on his way here with a special message for me.
Well, what kind of a message?
Must be very confidential. It's not in writing. Says he'll tell it to me. He'll be coming through Eagle Pass this afternoon.
Are you going out there to meet him?
No, he's coming direct to my office. I don't say anything about this to anyone.
Of course not, Tom.
Where have you been?
Getting a drink. Why?
I just got word from the boss that a rider's coming through Eagle Pass this afternoon with some secret information for the sheriff.
If it's so secret, how does the boss know about it?
That's his business. He doesn't want that rider to get through. Now go out there and stop him.
I tried to break it up, but I was too late. This man that was killed, you say he had a verbal message for you?
That's right. But I've no idea what it was.
Well, it might have something to do with your present problem. Have you any idea who's back of all this trouble?
Well, that's hard to answer. There doesn't seem to be any system to it. These outlaws attack the stagecoaches, the ranches, then they'll hold up the bank and the mine companies. They drive off the cattle. They burn down a rancher's home, or they'll kill a land agent for no apparent reason.
Well, they must be after something. And I have a hunch they're getting a lot of inside information.
How do you figure that?
Well, didn't you tell me that they always seem to know when a payroll or a gold shipment is being made?
That's right.
They knew about this man with a secret message for you. And for some reason, they didn't want you to get it.
Well, I never thought of it that way. But whoever is behind this thing is mighty smart.
And dangerous. It's not going to be easy to track him down. But that's our job.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Faulkner.
Well, you must be the marshal. We heard you'd arrived. I'm Henry Faulkner. This gentleman is Fred Kendall.
Glad to know you. Tom has told me about both of you, and has given me a pretty good idea of the trouble you're having.
I want to offer you our full cooperation.
Thanks. I hear you're trying to keep the ranchers from selling out and leaving here.
That's right. I try to talk them out of it, in spite of the fact my stages are being held up.
Have your drivers ever recognized any of the outlaws?
No, they've always been masked.
What do you suppose they're after?
Money and loot, I guess. And they get it.
They certainly seem to be well organized.
Yes, by someone who doesn't care how much destruction his hired gunmen bring to this community.
Do you remember the Johnson gang that used to operate around Rimrock?
Yes, it was a bad bunch.
I think this is the same outfit. They operate the same way. And if we don't stop them, they're going to wreck our community just like they ruined Rimrock.
That's right.
Have you had many raids?
Well, I haven't had any yet. But maybe that's because I have so many cowboys to guard my cattle. And I own the largest ranch in Green Valley.
Must be one of my stages coming in. Yeah? I better get back to the office. Call on me anytime, Marshal, for whatever help I can give you.
Thanks.
That goes for me, too. You know, it'll be nice to have some law enforcement around here.
Kendall isn't exactly an admirer of yours, is he?
No, he's not. He doesn't think much of me as a sheriff, nor as a prospective son-in-law. Marge is his daughter, you know.
Pretty too. Well, cheer up, Tom. We've got work to do.
Well, where do we start?
We'll telegraph the Transportation Bureau in Kansas City and find out all we can about that messenger they sent.
Well, we can't do that right now. The wires were cut yesterday. But there's a repair crew working on them now down at Badger Flat. They ought to be fixed pretty soon.
Rance.
The boys report back?
Yeah, about a half an hour ago. They took care of the telegraph repair crew. Won't be any messages coming or going for quite a while.
It's just the way we want it. We'll keep 2 jumps ahead of that marshal all the time.
It'll take some doing. I've heard of this Johnny Mac Brown. He's no pushover. Yeah, they say he's a tough man to tangle with.
Look, he's just another man with a tin badge, and we'll make him sorry he ever came here. Where'd the boys go?
Yeah, the telegraph wagon, some coils of wire. They were taking it over to the barn.
They shouldn't have taken it anyplace. They might be trailed.
Well, your orders were not to leave any telegraph equipment around.
They could have run the wagon and the wire over a cliff. It's right over at the barn, Ace. Judge, you stay here.
How are you, Marshal?
Fine, thank you.
Tom?
Faulkner?
Anything I can do for you?
I want to send a wire to Kansas City.
I'm sorry. Ezra's been trying, but he can't get through.
But those wires were supposed to have been fixed by now.
I know, but something's still wrong. Why don't you try it again, Ezra?
Right.
No use, huh? Must be the work of those outlaws again. But what good it can do them to disrupt communications, I can't figure.
It looks like someone didn't want me to get my message through. Come on, Tom. we'd better get over to Badger Flat and see what's going on.
Well, I expect we'll find trouble.
Suppose we split up and come in from two directions in case someone is following us.
All right. I'll take the ridge trail. You go in through Pinto Canyon.
Good. I'll see you there.
Right. See what happened to those telegraph workers back there?
Yeah. Right now, look at this.
Wagon tracks.
Yeah, pretty deep. That wagon was carrying a heavy load.
Telegraph wire?
Could be. Come on, Tom. Let's follow these tracks. Tracks lead right over to that barn.
It's the marshal and sheriff.
Let's tie up here.
Let's let him have it. Let's make a run for it.
There they go. Come on.
You go after them. I'm gonna have a look in that barn.
go back and finish him off. Let's look for him in those bushes over there. Still a second. I think I hear a horse on the road. It's the marshal. What a break. What are we gonna do about the sheriff? We can get him anytime. Let's try for the marshal. Shooting too straight to suit me. Let's get out of here.
Hit bad?
Bad enough.
What's your name? Who were those other two men?
I ain't telling you nothing.
Tom, I thought they got you.
Well, the bullet just nicked my wrist. Where'd they go?
I picked this one off. The other two hightailed it. Do you know this man?
I never saw him before.
Did you recognize the other two?
It's kind of hard to identify anybody when you're riding and being shot at. One of them looked like that Ed Rance.
Rance? We'll check up on him when we get back to town. Have the coroner come back and pick this one up.
It's too bad that fella died before you could get anything out of him. We might have gotten some useful information.
I doubt it. It's a safe bet he never knew who his outlaw leader is. But there's one man who may know.
What man?
Rance, the fellow you thought you recognized.
Well, all we need to do is follow him till he meets his boss.
I don't think he ever meets him or talks to him.
Well, then how does he get his orders?
By mail. I've been checking up on him lately. He gets letters almost every day. After he reads them, he destroys them.
Well, all we have to do is grab him at the post office when he gets his mail.
All you'd find would be an unsigned letter, probably done in code. Wouldn't tell us a thing.
We can't just sit around and let Rance get away with this. Let's arrest him and make him talk.
He wouldn't talk. And besides, he'd be replaced by someone else. Someone we wouldn't know.
You mean we're better off knowing it's Rance so we can watch him?
That's our best bet. I understand Rance used to be Kendall's foreman.
That's right.
And Kendall has never been raided.
No. Now, look here, Johnny, you don't suspect that Kendall had it. That's ridiculous.
Tom, we're in sort of a war here, and we'll never win it if we let sentiment interfere with us.
Well, it couldn't be Kendall.
Is it because he's Marge's father? Tom, it could be anyone in Green Valley, and most likely someone we'd never suspect. Let's see if the Transportation Bureau has answered that letter you wrote him.
Hello, Margie. You know the marshal, don't you?
Oh, sure. How are you?
How are you, Margie?
Just fine, thank you. I haven't seen much of you lately, Tom. I've been wondering if you'd forgotten me. I still live at the same ranch, you know.
Will you two excuse me? Hello, Faulkner.
Hello, Marshal. Well, congratulations. Things have been a lot quieter since you hit town.
It just happened that way. I can't take any credit for it.
You'll take plenty of credit if you can clean out the lawless element here.
That's a big if.
In my opinion, you're just the man who can do it. You know, there's something about you that, well, it gives me complete confidence. You can count on me for anything I can do or any information I can give you.
Thanks. Is the telegraph working yet?
No, it isn't. Which reminds me, there's a man from the telegraph company waiting for me in my office. Excuse me.
Well, have you two got reacquainted?
Margie, I've been waiting at the bank for you for half an hour.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dad. I was just going to mail your letter.
Haven't you done that yet?
Let me have it. I'll drop it in for you.
You know, we've got to be starting home.
I thought it was only husbands who forgot to mail important letters.
Well, it's pretty important at that. It's to a man who owes me money. Come on, Margie.
Tom, that letter was addressed to Rance.
Are you sure?
I saw it.
Well, you heard what he said. Seems to me he did lend Rance some money.
Any mail for me?
Yes, sir. Here's a couple letters for you, Rance.
Thanks, Ezra.
It's a letter for you, too, Sheriff.
Thanks, Ezra. What's in it?
Don't know. Only get to read the postcards.
It's from the Transportation Bureau. Says they're sending another messenger here. This time he's coming by stage.
Strictly confidential. Cannot be put in writing. Tom, that messenger's life is in danger.
You think they know about this?
I'll bet you my last pair of boots that one of those letters that Rance picked up had the tip-off in it. I'm going to cut across to Rimrock and trail that stage in from there.
I'm going with you.
No, you stay here and keep your eyes open.
out of here. Whoa! Hold it!
What were those bandits after?
You.
Me?
You have a message for the sheriff in Green Valley, and they didn't want it delivered.
Only the sheriff was supposed to know about that. Who are you?
My name is Johnny Mac Brown. I had a hunch you'd run into some trouble, so I came out to make sure you got through. Just what is the message?
Green Valley is to be a very important stop on the new railroad that's coming through.
Railroad? So that's it.
Yes, we have to keep all such information secret. If it becomes known, it causes land prices to go up and brings on a lot of trouble.
And it has already.
You mean the information is leaked out?
Well, not generally, but there's someone in Green Valley who's known about it for quite some time. You know, this answers a lot of things I didn't understand. We'll go back and pick up the guard and get into town. That's why those outlaws have committed every crime on the calendar. Their leader wanted to make this an unfit place to live so that decent citizens would clear out.
Yeah, then he'd buy up their land and sell it to the railroad at his own price.
That's right. I've checked the records. There are only two men who's been buying up ranches.
Yeah, Kendall and Faulkner.
Faulkner has only bought up 3 small ranches. Kendall has more property in his name than anyone else.
Yes, but Kendall has always believed in acquiring land. He's done it for years.
Yes, and Faulkner has great faith in the West.
Well, who do you suspect?
Suspicion is not good enough, Tom. What we need is proof.
Well, sure we do, but you can't pen charges on a man just for buying land.
Yes, but you forget one thing. This man Evans from the Transportation Bureau is still in town, and the outlaw leader knows it.
Yeah, and he knows that we know about the railroad. So what?
He'll make his move. He'll be forced to. And he'll give himself completely away.
Well, I hope you're right. Say, I told Evans that we'd both meet him at the hotel this afternoon. We better go.
Let's not go together. It might attract attention. You know, this is still supposed to be a secret. You go now. I'll drift over later.
All right.
Hello, Faulkner. You look kind of serious.
I feel that way, Marshal. I've just had some very disturbing news.
What about?
Something that spells ruin for me and my stage line. The railroad's coming through here.
How did you get that information?
From a man employed by Kendall.
Kendall?
Yes. He told me something else. Kendall's selling all his cattle so he can buy more land.
You believe that?
I do, and it's made me wonder about a lot of things. Why has Kendall been buying land? Why is he buying more now? And why has his ranch never been attacked by outlaws?
Are you trying to tell me that you think Kendall is back of all this trouble around here?
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just bitter and suspicious because my business is facing ruin. I can't figure it, Marshal. It's up to you to decide. All I know is Kendall already has his cattle rounded up in the basin, ready for shipment.
Well, our men are all set to run off Kendall's cattle.
Eddie sure made it easy for us, having them rounded up in that basin.
What are we doing all this for, Rance?
There's a reason.
Kind of hard to figure. Just stampede a herd and ruin a lot of beef. That don't put much money in our pockets.
It'll keep Kendall from selling them and getting the money. And that's what the boss wants. Now, don't ask any more questions. Give the boys a signal to stampede the cattle.
the herd and the buck boy.
Where are they now?
They saw what was going on, turned around, headed for town.
They must be going for help.
Well, get after them and stop them.
Takes care of Mr. Kendall. Come on, let's get out of here.
Where'd they get you? In the shoulder. Better get me back to the ranch.
Margie, your father's going to be all right in a couple of weeks.
Oh, thank goodness for that. Oh, Johnny, must these terrible things go on happening here in Green Valley?
I hope not. Would you like to help me stop them?
Well, indeed I would. Is there something I can do?
I'd like for you to go into town and spread the news that your father is dead.
What?
I have a reason for it, Margie.
Well, what is it?
Somebody will make you an offer for the ranch, and I want to meet the man who makes you that offer.
Oh, all right, I'll do it.
Good girl. I'll stick around here just in case.
Hello, Ezra. Any mail for me?
Hello, Luke. Don't know. I'll take a look.
You hear about Fred Kendall?
No, don't see any mail. What about Kendall? I heard he got dry gulched.
I saw his daughter in town. Fred passed away this morning.
Well, that's too bad.
Well, so long, Ezra.
So long, Luke.
Miss Margie, I was sorry to hear what happened to your dad. He was a fine man.
Thank you, Rance.
He loaned me money when I needed it. Now I figure I can do you a good turn. You likely won't want to be running this place now that you're left alone. I can get you a good price for it.
Well, thank you, but I really haven't had time to think about selling.
I know. But it so happens that there's a man out from the east who would like to buy it. Be ashamed to miss this chance.
What's the name of your friend, Rance?
I don't know if it's any of your business.
I'm making it my business. And drop your gun.
I wouldn't shoot Marshall if you want her to live. Now drop your gun. Move over. Ah!
Margie?
Oh, just a few bruises. Get after him, Johnny.
Hello, Marshal. What brings you here?
May I see you for a minute? Privately?
Certainly. Go on to my office. I'll be right with you. Ezra and I are just closing up for the day. Don't go for a while, Ezra. I may need you.
All right.
Sorry to keep you waiting. What can I do for you?
I understand you were riding on your stage a couple of times when it was held up.
Yes, that's right. I wanted to see what was going on. I found out I lost my watch and my wallet. Why do you ask?
I have a man who I think is the ringleader of those outlaws. I want you to have a look at him. Maybe you can identify him.
I don't know if I could. The only bandits I saw were masked.
Well, maybe there's something about his build or his voice that you might recognize. Come on, have a look at him.
Where is he?
Out at Kendall's ranch.
Oh, all right. If you think it'll do any good, I'm glad to oblige.
What's the matter? Why are you starting?
The saddle seems to be slipping. Put up your hands. All right, now get down. You've got Rance over at Kendall's place, haven't you?
That's right.
You figured if you brought the two of us face to face, we'd be surprised into confessing.
Right again.
I was way ahead of you all the time. This is as far as you're going, Marshal.
You'll never get away with it. There'll be other marshals coming in here, and you'll swing for all your crimes.
They won't pin a thing on me. I've been smart, too smart even for you. But, what made you suspect me?
For one thing, you were the only person who had a chance to read the mail before it was delivered. That's how you got your inside information.
You're shrewd, Brown. Your only mistake was in underestimating me. That mistake was fatal. After I tell the folks how you and I were waylaid by bandits, I'll make a speech about what a good marshal you were. Here they are, Ezra. Deeds to over half the land in Green Valley. Green Valley Land Company, Great Western Land Company, Western Ranches Incorporated. All dummy companies controlled by me.
You know, Henry, you've outsmarted every one of them, including the marshal.
You bet I've outsmarted them. Now the railroads will have to pay my price for the land they won.
The money won't do you any good, Faulkner. You'll never collect it.
I thought you killed him.
He thought so, too. You see, I didn't underestimate you. While I was waiting for you in here, I took the bullets out of your gun and put in blanks. Looks like you weren't so smart after all. You still want to make that speech? There's one thing I still don't understand, Mr. Kendall. Why did you want to sell off all your cattle?
Well, because I had bought so much property that I was land poor. I had no idea the railroad was coming through.
Well, you'll get a good price for what you sell to the railroad.
A fair price. I don't want to hold them up.
Hello, Margie.
Hello, Johnny.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Johnny.
I just dropped over to say goodbye. I'm on the move again.
Well, we'll all be sorry to see you go.
Of course, I might come back if I'm invited to the wedding.
Wedding? What wedding?
Why, hasn't he asked you yet?
She says yes.
I knew she would. Well, so long, folks.
Goodbye, Johnny.
Goodbye, Johnny.